we are going to place our pattern on our fabric, cut, and then sew it. So the pattern I'm going to make use of is the method, the pattern we drafted using the method whereby we divide the measurement by 4. That's the pattern I'm using. You can use any pattern of your choice to place on your clothes and cut. So this is my fabric that I'll be making use of. I'll open it now. When you are folding your clothes, open it. Make sure you are using the bad face of the clothes. Don't cut on the good side, cut on the bad side of your fabric. And then we don't add sewing allowance on our pattern. I will add sewing allowance on our clothes. So I'll be starting from the front. So you see the way I'm placing it. Place it like so. So you can use your pin and hold it down so that it will not move. Use your pin and secure it. Now, the sewing allowance I'm going to be adding, where you're going to add your sewing allowance, you will not add sewing allowance here because there is sewing allowance on the shoulder already. Do not add sewing allowance on the shoulder, but add sewing allowance on your armhole and your side sewing allowance. So you can add half inch on your side, half inch, See the way I'm adding my half inches. I hope you guys are seeing it. So you add your half inch on your armhole like so. I'm connecting so that we can see it very well. I've added my half inches at the armhole. So at the side, I'm going to add, you can add 2 inches, your choice. Adding 1.5 to my own. My side sewing allowance, I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. So I'll use my hand and connect them like so. Now I will cut. Make sure you follow the reason why we are adding sewing allowance on our fabric, so that when you finish sewing your basic bodies, you are not going to be shortage of anything. So like I said on our shoulder area, we are not adding sewing allowance anymore. You can add half inches on your neckline if you want, but I don't want to add allowance on my neckline. I don't want it to be too taut on my neck. So another thing I want us to notice here is, you see this dart leg for you, because when you're going to sew it, you have to know where you're going to catch. That's why I'm notching it. You see, I notch it a little. There is a little notch here. Just notch it a little. Repeat the same thing on the other side. I'm notching a little. So on the midpoint, how are you going to know your midpoint? You see the way I place my pin like so. So I'll be removing this pin. I place a pin at the center. I don't know if you can see the pin is there. So this is my pin that I place. This shows this is where our dart is going to stop. I'm marking it. See my pin? My pin is still here. So these are our front bodice. Make sure you mark where your dart is going to stop very well, so that when you get to the sewing machine, you will not be confused. So we are cutting our back. So at this back pattern, there is something I want us to know. I'll be attaching zip to it. So when you're going to place your zip on your fabric, you're going to leave a space. This side, this is where we're going to have our zip. So I'll be creating a space for the zip. I'll be leaving 1.5 inches for my zip allowance. I'll be using 1.25 as zip allowance. 1.25, 1.25, 1.25. So this is where my zip, I'll be placing my zip there. Now on my side here, for your pattern paper not to be moving up and down. And again, I want to show you something. At this back, I don't want to sew my back dart. If you don't want to sew your back dart, all you need to do is to close it. Close the dart. Don't bother, this place is puffing off. Don't bother. Close your dart. So I've closed my dart. I don't want to have that at my back pattern. That's why I close it. So use your pin to secure it for it not to be moving up and down. So I have my back fabric now. So I'll be adding my side allowance 1.5 inches. And I told us to add half inches round our armhole. If you like, you add it. If you like, you don't add. But for you not to be shortage of fabric, you add. At my neckline, I don't want to add. I don't want it to be too taut on my neck. And always make sure that as many sewing allowance you add, that is what you are going to remove, so that you don't have too much allowance on your fabric, on your dress. So if you want to have that at the back of your dress, you can open your dart, but me, I don't want my dart. I'll be opening the zip space. So you see, we have our back. We have our front, we have our back pattern and our front pattern. This is our back and this our front. So we are going to sew it now on our sewing machine. After fixing the zip, we are going to join the shoulder, the two shoulders together. Join these two shoulders Place the two shoulders together. You put the back and front together, you join the two shoulders together. Remember, it's ½ inch sewing allowance we added, and that is what we are going to remove. We are removing 0.5 inches of our sewing allowance. So on my front dart, we are going to hold our darts together. We are going to hold it like so. See it? You see where I notch? This is the place I notch. I'll be sewing it. You hold the other side also. The place you notch down to the place I mark where the darts will reach. So you can see the way I sew it. See our tutu darts. Now I've joined the tutu shoulder together. I'll be joining the side together. So when you put your front and back together, the next thing is our bust measurements. When doing your final, when you are joining your back and front together, your bust, you divide it by 2. Your waist, you divide it by, all your measurements will become dividing it by 2. So our bust measurement is 34 divided by 2 is 17 inches. Inches is here. So my waist is 14 inches. We are going to connect from 17, you connect it to the 14 inches. I don't know if you can see this line. Turn it to the other side. You do the same thing to it. From that place where you sew, here, you are going to place your tape. You mark from here to the other side your 17 inches because our bust is 17 inches. And our waist measurement is 14 inches. So you connect from your 17 to your 14 like so. On our armhole, since I'm not putting lining, I'm not going to remove. So on our armhole, if you like, you can fold it. You know, we added half inches around the armhole. If you like, you can fold it, fold the half inches inside. You see, we now have our half length ready. So this is our half length shirt, as you can see. Let me put it on so we can see it very well. So this is the outcome. So we've come to the end of our basic bodice pattern. Look at mine, it's sitting so pretty well on my body. I wanted to give yours a trial, then send it to us. Let's see the progress. So I want you to look at the way the cup is sitting so very pretty. And this is not a princess dart. Look at the cup, look at the shape. The outcome of the shape look like a princess dart. It's sitting so pretty well on my body because of the bust dart. So give us a trial and send us feedback. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Bye.